All right, what's up, everybody? Look, the crypto market's starting to get a little bit red this morning and things are getting juicy. So, what we can see here is that, yeah, it's not the best day in the crypto market so far with things like IMX, Fartcoin by Ton, Brett, AVAX, Jasmine, and many more seeing some pretty sizable losses on the day, anywhere from 7 to up to 20% in losses. Now, if we do zoom out to the weeklies, though, you can still see a ton of green across this market. Again, especially for things like Pi. And if you go out to the monthly, again, things are looking very strong here too. And I think that is kind of even just the first point that I want to make, getting right into it here in the video, is that look, whenever you see a day like today, the first thing that you need to do is go look at the week and go look at the month, right? If you're seeing red across the week and red across the month, okay, valid reason to be concerned. Yeah, structure is changing, macros are changing, things aren't looking great. But whenever you're on the daily time frames and you're seeing red, and then you go out to your weekly candles or your weekly bubbles and you're seeing a ton of green, you look at your monthlies, you're seeing a ton of green. Guys, that's called a retracement, okay? And a retracement is quite simply just when the crypto market does this. It goes up, 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 and then it comes back down a little bit. Then it goes up, 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 and then it comes down a little bit. These moments that we're in right now are called retracements because what we're seeing is that sure, the shorter time frame is bearish, but the bigger time frame is still bullish. And until you start to see much more of a loss here and much more losses going to the downside, it's not that big a deal. It's not something to be all freaked out about and worry about. Listen, crypto is not just complete vertical. That's not how that works. The crypto market, the stock market, every market works like this, guys. You're going to see ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And of course, you're going to. You're going to see people buy. You're going to see them take profit. You're going to see them rebuy. You're going to see them take profit. You're going to see them rebuy. Then eventually they won't rebuy and then it'll just crash, right? That's generally how this goes. And so what you have to understand is that moments like this, although are annoying, are not scary by any means. Now, what you can see is that if you just look at Bitcoin, for example, you can see exactly that playing out. Bitcoin just broke above the golden Fibonacci zone, which I've told you all many times is the most important level of resistance that Bitcoin has. And breaking this was one of the most important moves that it has made in the entire history of the crypto market. And so by coming back down after breaking the golden zone and just kind of going sideways a little bit, going down a little bit, guys, that's not scary. That's normal. What are we all freaking out about? This is what Bitcoin does. And if we go look at what's happening with altcoins, you're seeing a very similar story being painted, just a little bit different. In that what we're seeing for altcoins is that they just ran up to the golden zone, hit a huge level of resistance, being this golden zone, and they're just going sideways a little bit, building up the strength that they might need in order to try to push back above the golden zone, just like Bitcoin did, guys. Look, just like Bitcoin did. See how we got up to the golden zone for Bitcoin and it slowed down? That's what altcoins are doing right now. This is not some big, complex, oh goodness, what's happening? We all need to freak out. We all need to sell our crypto. The run is over. There's no more catalysts. Like, listen, just calm down a little bit. How did we go through 4 months of crashing, 4 months of red, 4 months of pullbacks? Just a couple weeks ago, in which everything was falling. And most cryptos fell 50, 60, 70%, and everyone was kind of just fine. To Bitcoin and crypto pulling back 5, 6%, and everyone's screaming. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And it just is a signal to me that emotions are just too high right now. Emotions are just a little bit too high right now. And that is something that I always take into account of whenever I am kind of deciding what my moves are. Now, before I kind of just dive into exactly what I'm doing right now, guys, I will remind you that if you do want to trade a little bit of crypto, say you want to start going long on crypto today, which isn't a terrible idea, and although I'll break that down in a minute, if you want to go long, if you want to go short, whatever you want to do on up to 500x leverage, even though do not cross 500x leverage by any means. If you want to do all that stuff, guys, it is available for you over on BTCC, in which they will give you a 10% bonus on all first time deposits between $500 and $100,000. Guys, that's literally like $10,000 that you can get. Go take advantage of that. I don't see a reason as to why not. Okay, that's available for you down below. So again, moving a little bit forward, now that we have an idea, like, listen, the crypto market is just retracing. It's just pulling back a little bit. This actually isn't that big of a deal. The question is, like, what do you do in a moment like this, right? And I think that's what a lot of people wonder. It's like, what do you do in a moment like this? Well, personally speaking, I do start to prepare for the opportunity. Not right now, but the opportunity to actually reinvest some of the profits that I've been taking back into the crypto market. So as you all know, if I go over to my Bitcoin buy sell bubble sheet, which is just a representation of what I've been buying and selling, as you can see here, all of the buys and sells here were documented over within the Crypto Strategy School, which don't you worry, I'm going to tell you about this in a little while here. All of these green bubbles are when I've been buying. All of these red bubbles are when I've been selling. Again, all documented over here. And what you can see is that we were selling like crazy, right? Like over the last, 3 weeks, I've probably done more selling than I've done in the last couple of years. I mean, we sold here, we sold here, we sold here, we sold a lot right here, right where we are right now. Sold a little bit more right there, right? And so as a result of all this profit taking, which is what it was, right? Everything that I closed down was in profits of hundreds of percentages. What I'm capable of now doing is I have that cash set to the side, right? Because whenever I take profits, I don't just move it all out of crypto. I move some of it out of crypto because I do like buying other things, right? We just bought a 41plex in Abilene, Texas. We're going to probably buy some commercial real estate up in Michigan right now. So there is a lot of cool stuff that I can do with my profits outside the world of crypto, but I do leave a lot of my cash in the world of crypto because I'm a crypto investor, guys. And what I'm able to do is stash that cash to the side whenever I am taking profits for moments like right now. Now, no, I'm not buying right now. It's just not fallen enough for me to feel like I want to buy in. Like, why would I, right? I mean, I was buying down here, buying down here, buying down here, taking profits up here. Why would I then reinvest right where I took profits? That doesn't make a ton of sense. But I am preparing for the opportunity to be able to take some of those profits if we do get a bit of a pullback. A lot of people don't believe that Bitcoin, for example, can fall back to 94K, and I believe they are greatly mistaken. You go look at your liquidation map, for example. You go look at that 30-day. This is still healthy, right? I mean, we're still seeing $15 billion worth of liquidations at $91,000. And if you don't think those little sneaky lizard people are licking their lips, looking at this key level of liquidity right here, thinking, man, I could probably get 5-6 billion worth of liquidations if I bring it back down here, then let it run. You're mistaken, guys. It might fall back down that low. Now, look, I'm not sure if it's going to, and the reality is you look at this, and we have a freaking ginormous golden zone now sitting directly below us, which is going to be a liquidity zone that'll try to push Bitcoin's price back upwards. So no, I'm not betting that we're going to see the market fall back down there so that means I'm not shorting by any means right now, but I definitely am preparing some of that cash. I'm starting to look in my positions and think, okay, which one of these ones am I going to buy if this market does continue to fall? I think the obvious choice here is to buy a little bit of Bitcoin, but as I told you all in a video the other day, listen, Bitcoin dominance is officially broken down, and I think this is an implication that altcoins could very well continue to outperform Bitcoin for a while. So although I am preparing to buy a little bit of Bitcoin, maybe get a little green bubble somewhere down here if that does happen, I'm actually more looking at some of my alts and the ones that are pulling back the most right now. What you can see is I'm not particularly interested in ETH right now per se, and I did take a lot of profits off the table right here, but there are some other ones that are in some pretty decent spots that I would be looking to buy, right? You look at something like Solana, for example. Solana's not even touched this golden zone yet. That means that Solana could easily still have enough gains to, push up 35% towards the top side of the golden zone, 70% to a full extension back to this previous high, and up to another 130% if it is going to crack to a Fibonacci extension level. I think those are great gains. I think there's a great risk to reward. So Solana is one that I would be looking to DCA on. Sui is a little bit higher, so not as interested in doing some buying on this one right here. And you can see I did take a little bit of profits off the table on Sui. Look, I told you everything I do, I'm document. 5/10, May 5th. Or, no, can't be right. Yeah, May 10th, sorry. What you can see here is I went in, sold 3% of my entire Sui bag in profit with an average percentage growth of 111%. That was right here at $4.09, guys. That was literally right here, right? We took that profit on this candle right here. And what do you know? It's now down. It's pulled back off of that take profit that we did, roughly 10%. And so now, if we do see Sui come back down and maybe, say $2.80 or $3 or somewhere back down here, yeah, I might do a little bit of dollar cost averaging back in, throwing in some of that cash back in there as it tries to create the higher low to eventually chase a higher high, which is what I think it might do. You look at something like XRP. Yeah, of course I would be doing a little bit of buying on XRP. Why? Because it's back testing right now. If we can see XRP hold this, what just happened is that it had this descending level of support or this descending level of resistance and support, creating this descending channel. It's broken above the descending channel, and now it's back testing it. And if it can successfully hold this, guys, XRP might give you that pump back up to $3, right? Like coming back up here is super reasonable in my opinion. And so what you can see here, like I'm not going to just keep going on and on and on, but what you can see here is that many of these altcoins that are pulling back right now are actually showing decent signs that this is just a healthy retracement and that they very well might come back down, find some support, and use that support to try to continue higher. Because the reality is, again, nothing fundamentally has changed from last week. The market's just pulling back a little bit because it just hit a massive level of resistance. That's normal. That's just what it does. So I'm not freaked out by it. I'm actually motivated by it because we've been taking so much profit recently. Now we have cash to reinvest if it does continue lower. So I am still in a bit of a pause moment right now. I'm not doing any buying quite yet. I might even still take some profits off the table if anything does decide to pump. pump. But if we do get a bigger pullback, guys, I'm just going to throw a little bit of cash in there, either on some DCAs or some low leverage long trades at key levels of support with maybe a trailing stop loss. And I'm just going to go about it like that. This isn't some big thing to freak out about. It's actually nothing to freak out about. It is normal. And am I saying that it can't, of course, crash? Of course it can crash. Bitcoin might come down to 85K. But even if it does, it is still building the macro structure to continue higher. And that is where I think that we are right now. And until something changes my mind, that's what I'm going to plan for. So, guys, if you do, of course, want to be able to see all of these things that I'm doing, you see how I'm telling you guys what I'm selling, telling you when I'm buying, locking in huge profits every single day. Basically, I'm selling every day at this point, it feels like. You can check out the link to the school down below. And guys, it's not just me absolutely smashing it over here. Just go look at the community. You know how the market's crashing today and everything feels bad? It's not bad in this community. Look, 100% gains, $1,000 gain, 113%, 20%, 38%. 250, 280, 350, 1,000% gainer, 220% gainer, 174% gainer. Guys, this community it's just going nuts. It's literally just going bejeebas. And if you want to check it out, the link is down below. I actually have a cool stat for you here. Our pro team, who posts their trade signals every day, has a current year-to-date total return of 95% with a win rate of 70% on scalp signals and 51% on swing signals. That's just ridiculous. That's the reason this community is smashing it. Because we have people like this giving alpha. So feel free to go check it out down below. And if you want a bunch of educational content as well, it's also available over in the school. So link is down below for that. Again, if you want to start trading today, you can check out the school, but also you can check out BTCC. Guys, again, that's up to $10,000 in free trading money. Don't pass that. That doesn't make sense to pass that. Go check that out. And of course, just stay calm. That's the best thing you can do. You remember those videos I posted 2 days ago where I was screaming at you, just telling you not to do anything crazy because all this bullshit was going to happen? The bullshit is now happening. So now just stay calm, let it play out. And as we do start to hit key levels of support, and as we do start to get some more market structure clarity, I'll keep you updated on my next move. So of course, I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.